We're out here on Truman Reservoir and with Jeff Faulkenberry from Faulkenberry's Endless Season Guide Service. And today is going to be a first for both Jeff and myself. It's going to be Jeff's first time using planer boards for catfish. And it's going to be my first time using planer boards on purpose for catfish. And what's cool about this is we're not only going to use planer boards, but we're also going to use offshore's tadpoles, which are inline diving weights. Now normally Jeff would use 4 rods flat off the boat and he would drift with cut bait. We've got that cut bait on the hooks, the circle hooks that he normally uses, but we've also got it out on tadpoles. And what a tadpole is, it's an inline diving weight. This is what one looks like right here. And what happens when you put the tadpole in the water, the tadpole actually, this clip slides back like that. It's a crankbait snap, and it dives. When you get a fish, it releases so you can fight the fish and not the weight. So Jeff, show us how you hook on a piece of cut bait. And Jeff said something pretty interesting when he put on the last piece of cut bait. He told me, Tommy, make sure there's no scales on the point of the hook. But you just pretty much, yeah, this is cut shad.
Chunk of, we got big gizzard shad here in Truman Lake, and we're just hooking it up right there through the meat. Make sure there's not a scale on the point. You're good to go.
So I've got that one out that side, and I put that one out that side probably about 12 foot back, which is going to make it run about 11 foot down. We're going about 0.8 miles an hour. I've got my power pull drift paddle in the water to slow me down. The kicker motor would normally push us along at about 1 mile an hour. And we're going to put them in. We're going to stagger our baits. That one's out 11. This one that's going to be out the deeper part of the channel, I'm actually going to set this one out at about 12. And then we're going to run one 13, and we're going to run another one 14. And you know, I might pull one up. I might bring one up 8 foot back, which is going to put about 7 foot down. But what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to stagger these baits and find where those catfish are going to prefer to eat this at. The planer boards are going to take the baits out to the side, and what that's going to do is that's going to spread us out and turn this 2-row picker of a catfishing machine into a great big combine. So let's clip a board on and see what kind of trouble we're going to get into.
There it is, fire in the hole.
Okay, this one was flat off the boat. We've got 2 boards out, and we've got a tadpole out. And what the tadpole does is it allows this rod to be right over the side of the boat without putting out a tremendous amount of line. Now, Jeff has just informed me that this is a nice eating blue. And I would know because I've never eaten a blue catfish. But we're going to eat this one. This is the one thing that drives me crazy about catfish, but you know what? It ain't that big of a deal. It's just a little catfish slime. Run up the line like that, peel it off, and flick it into the water. As you can see again, here's the rig. What size hook is this, Jeff? Oh, Jeff's got a catfish on that side. That's another one on the tadpole. What I was just about to explain was, Jeff was telling me with a standard catfish rig, he'd have to let out 50, 60 foot of line. But with these tadpoles, all we've got to let out is about 20 foot of line. So it saves a lot of time and a lot of effort. And when you guide for a living, like Jeff does, or fish tournaments like we both do, time is money. And that's where the tadpole really shines, is you let out less line, takes less time, catch more fish. There we go. We got them hooked up now. what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to reel them fast. So I get them up over this other board. Now Jeff, go on back there and unhook the board. Okay. And there it is, a kitty cat. What's interesting is Jeff has been talking about running 4 rods, and he'd love to find a way to run a 5th and a 6th rod so it spreads a little bit farther. And this will actually give him the opportunity to do that. Oh, we got that board just went back and then it popped forward, so that one got bit. So let's throw him in the live well. I want to see what these blue cats taste like. And there you go, folks. Slimed. Good job. Good job. That's good. No, what'll happen is that board will come up here. There. And then I'll just keep them coming. That's going to be a good one. You might have to get that bola grip ready, or that Berkeley fish grip ready. When you take off the board now,
yeah,
Jeff, just make sure you don't bowstring me. Make sure it's as flat as possible. Oh, that's not a big fish, he's just a wild one. Get your hand off the back, there you go. Beautiful.
Good eater.
Well, it's planer boards 2.
Tadpoles
2. Although everything on the planer boards come off of tadpoles. Jeff, we're going a little bit fast. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more.
All right.
That may have been a small adjustment on the power pole drift paddle, but what's interesting is that little bit of adjustment is going to be 1 or 2/10 of a mile an hour as far as speed is concerned. And these cats haven't wanted it going up over 0.8 miles per hour. Right there, we were going 1 mile an hour. And I made that slight adjustment and it brought it down to 0.8. So 0.8 is the perfect speed. We're going to 8 skate, and the catfish will donate their fillets to the frying pan. Not to be outdone, the flat line with the tadpole now could be ahead 3-2 if we get this fish in the boat. These have all been cookie cutters too, Jeff.
Yeah.
So when you say these are perfect guide fish and perfect eater fish,
Right.
you weren't kidding, were you?
No, absolutely not. Here on Truman Lake, we've got a slot limit from 26 to 34 inches. All the fish got to go back. So these fish right here are, ranging in that 22 to 24 inch range. It's 22 to 24 inch range, and they're just perfect size eaters. We're not killing the big breeder fish.
Kitty, kitty. That's a good one. Well, you've seen it. This is an instance to where it makes it a lot easier. Instead of just running 4 rods, now we've added another tool to Jeff's toolbox, where he can put out 6 rods, spread them out comfortably, and between the tadpole and the planer board, you end up with critters like this. And it makes for a whole lot more fish and a whole lot funner day when you're out catfishing. I hear you clucking, big chicken. It tastes just like chicken too.